Hey guys, it's Maymay. About 3 years ago, somebody sent me a glitter bomb, and I'm sure they did it to be mean, and I never talked about it because I wasn't going to give them credit. And then today, I was thinking, what if we made a card using their brilliant tactic, but we didn't use glitter? So sometimes, the devil will send something your way that God will use for good, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to make a card for Valentine's Day I think you guys will like. We got a lot to do, so let's get started. Okay, so this piece here, this black cardstock, is 8.5 by 5.5. This is my standard A2 card base, and all we need to do to it is score it. So let's just score it in half. Let's put that upside down. So I'm just going to come into here and score it at 4.25. That will be our card base. Okay, so while I've got it there, I'm just going to flip it in. This helps me get a good square fold by leaving it like that, and then taking my bone folder and creasing it down. So that's our card base done and done. So I'll put that aside. Now these pieces I'm going to use today just for fun. This is how I'm going to lay my card out. The real trick of the card is the opening part, which we'll find in a minute, but here's how I'm going to decorate the front. Let me tell you the measurements of these. This piece is 4 inches by 5.25. That'll be our first mat on the card. This piece is 3.25 by 4.5. That's going to layer on our card as well. Then this little guy here, this black glitter, is 2.25 by 2.75. And then the piece that lays on top is 2 by 2.5. Now I told you all those measurements, but we're also going to have them in the blog post. I just want to make sure I say them in case you just like to write them down as we go. All right, let's start with some stamping. I'm going to put these guys aside for a minute. We'll come back to that. I want to stamp these two pieces really quick. So this guy, I'm going to stamp with my layered leopard stamp set. So the first bit of stamping we're going to do is we're going to stamp this leopard pattern on this piece. I just think leopard is perfect for Valentine's, and we need to use it. So I'm going to use some VersaFine Onyx Black, and I'm going to use, I don't know which red I want to use. Let me decide. I'm either going to use Tulip Red or this one. Let's see which one I think looks the best with this cardstock. I actually think the Tulip Red looks better, so I'm going to use Tulip Red. All right, let's see how this goes. So starting with the Tulip Red, I'm going to ink up the spots. We're going to start with the spots. I'm going to ink up the little spots and stamp them all the way up. I'm just making my own pattern paper is what I'm doing. I just thought that, I really think leopard is so Valentine-y. So I think it is perfect for this. So I'm just going to stamp this guy down just like so. Get that ink to transfer. And then I'm going to continue all the way up the page. Now you may remember from when I showed you how to use the stamp set before, you line up these little dots with these little dots. There's an easy way to do it, and I have a video that shows you how to use it, so I'll be sure to link that video in case you do have or want to pick up this stamp set. So that's our red layer done. Now let's do our black layer. Turn this way and bring our black stamp over. I think really quick I'm going to clean this off just so I don't get that into my other ink or onto my card. You know, this is just how you make a mess, all this ink everywhere. See how little I clean it? You can see it all coming off of there. So just clean that off. Let that dry for a second. Okay, now I'm going to ink this guy up with my VersaFine Onyx Black. So I'm just going to take this to the stamp. And I already know based on what I just did, I don't have to stamp all the way to the edges. So I'm just not going to worry about the edges of the stamp too much. As long as I get my dots that line up in, I'm in good shape. All right, so we'll start at the bottom. And here I'm going to line those little dots up again and stamp on top. So I'm just starting at the bottom, lining my little dots up and stamping on top of that. There's one. Let's keep going. Just go to the next layer. So there's my piece all stamped with my cheetah print background. Now I want to show you something. I'm not perfect and I make mistakes, and right here I have a pretty good mistake. So I want to show you how I'll fix it. I love these Illustrated Faith pens. They are perfect for this. This is the 0.65 nib. It's a little thicker, and right here where I messed up, I'm just going to come in and clean that up. Just fill in that little spot with my little marker. And no one will ever be the wiser And there's a little spot right there. I love these markers for this. They work so well, and they really blend well with my VersaFine. I think they work really good. So there is our cheetah print pattern. Put that to the side. We still need to do some more stamping. I want to stamp on this guy as well. I'm going to be using my stamp set called Maymay's Tulips. These lips are going to be the focal point of this card. They're going to be really cute when it's done. But what I want to do in the meantime is I want to take some of these lips and stamp around this card so that when I stack this on top, behind here will be some lips, kind of the pattern of lips showing through. So I'm just going to go to this stamp set and stamp them all around. You see, and I brought in all of my stamp blocks. And I have plenty of them. I love these. So I'm just going to ink these up and just wherever willy-nilly stamp them along the edges. I won't have to do a whole lot as far as inside or moving into the card because that paper that's going to lay over, I'll show you, is going to leave me some edges. So see, I just want those lips kind of around the edge like that. Let's do some that are more closed so you can really see them. And we're going to use these for another part of the project too, so I'm going to leave them on these blocks. So just kind of on and off. And I'm not going to clean this because I'm going to use them again in a second. I don't really need to clean them. So now I've got my border done. And then this guy's going to go on top like this. It's going to be busy, but I like it. That's the look I'm going for. I want it to be busy. Okay, so I'm going to put these off to the side. Now, I thought I wasn't going to clean those lips off. I thought I was going to stamp them in black, but I have decided that I want to stamp them in color. So I'm going to clean them. And what I'm going to do is take some squeaky clean, spray to one side of my scrubber, okay? And then I'm just going to rub this one over here and then rub it off over here. And that way all the ink is off and I'm ready to use it on my next, with my next color. And I do want to do this because I'm going to use some pale colors. You'll see what I'm doing. I just want to get these cleaned up real quick. Anytime you're cleaning your stamps, even if you're going to use soap and water, I always suggest leaving them on the block and just keeping any of the elements off of the back of your stamps. It just helps them to stay sticky longer, so it doesn't hurt to do it like that. Just leave them on the block, scrub them up, and then the back never gets even messed with. No chemicals or anything touches the re-stickable back of your stamp. There we go. So I haven't used these in a while. I've pulled out my Nouveau hybrids, and I like the colors of these because they remind me of lipstick. So I'm going to stamp these lips, probably 2 of each. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 2 of each of the patterns of the lips I'm going to stamp. So I'm going to do each one in a different color twice, if that makes sense. So this one will stamp twice in this pink color. So there's one. And I want them to be different colors because, like I said, I want them to look like lipstick. Here's 2. Now I want to leave a little space between them because I'm going to run these through the die cut machine using the die for them, the coordinating die. So I want to leave a little space. So that one's done there. Let's do another one. Let's do Spanish Sangria. I would actually wear this color lipstick. This is beautiful. Love it, love it. Okay, stamp this one down. That's so pretty. Gorgeous color. It's fun to look at your stamps and think lipstick, and then you think, I wish I did have that color in lipstick. This one is Rich Rosewood. It's really pretty. Let's find this one. This is a good one. All right, 2 of these. I may just do 2 of each ink, so we may just do 8 lips instead of 10. Oh, it's pretty. Then that one. Put the lid back on. And then one more. I think I'm just going to do that. Also because I have some left over from a project I did before where I cut too many. And I want to use those as well. So I'm just going to use these. And then I'll use those extra ones that I have. That's pale. You can hardly see that one. But still pretty, pale pink. All right, so there's those. Now let's cut them out with our die cut. So here we go. We got the Cuddle Bug. I'm going to use my A plate. I'm going to use my magnetic plate and a B plate stacked on top of each other. And then I've got another B plate to go on top. So these are my lips, and now I just need to get my dies. So here we go. I'm just going to line them up, and I can cut several at a time because of the way I stamped them. That's really cool. I won't have to run through so many times. You guys, I was freaking out. I was like, where's my other die? Somehow I stamped this one twice. I don't know how I did that. Maybe I mixed them up, or maybe I had that stamped twice. But I stamped it twice. I do. I have that stamped twice. I don't know how I did that. So will forgive me for that one. And I don't really, it doesn't matter. It won't hurt anything. We have it twice. We just need to cut it out. So I'm going to run these through the die cutting machine. And that gives us these. And so I'm going to run through and cut the rest of them out real quick. So I still don't know how I ended up with two of the same stamp set, same stamp on my set. I'm wondering if maybe I ended up with Mandy somehow. I don't know. We might have mixed some lips up. Okay, so these are the ones I told you I had from a project before. So there's those lips there, and I'm going to mix these with these. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to color these guys. And I've got some Nuvo markers that I'm going to use. You could have colored them before, but I wasn't going to color them, and now I've decided to because I think they'll be really cute. So I'm going to use this color here first. This is 499. And on this pale pink, I'm going to color inside those lips with the 499 color. And I'm not shading or anything. I'm just coloring them. Look how cute those are. These would be cute too if you just stamped them in black and colored them. They'd be cute like that too. Doesn't matter, but I kind of decided after the fact to color them. And honestly, on this one right here, I don't know what ink I used when I stamped them, so I hope it doesn't smear. It might, but those have been made for a long time. I don't know what ink I used. Probably a Versaclear. Isn't that cute? I love these lips. They're so cute. I may do them all this pink color. I was going to mix them up. I don't know. We'll see. If you're making this at home, I would definitely color them before you die cut them. There's no sense in trying to hold them here. Not a big deal. You know, sometimes when you're making a card, you don't really know where you're going. And so you just kind of do as you go. And that's what I'm doing here. I know what I'm wanting to accomplish. I've not made it before, so we'll see how it turns out together. All right, so let's change our color now. Let's do this color called Fresh Watermelon, number 377. Ooh, that's bright. It's a good Valentine red. All right, and one more color. This one's really dark. This is Strawberry Jam, and it's number 379. Ooh, I would definitely wear this lipstick. This is pretty. My coloring is awful today. I'm having a shaky day. Some days I have worse shaky days than others. I don't shake like trimmers. I tell you guys all the time, whenever I try to do something precision, I tend to shake. And so today, precision in me is not working so great. But you know what? The card is still going to be cute no matter what. No one's going to judge your coloring. Most people won't even realize you colored them. To be honest, they'll think that they came that way because they'll look so nice and professional. All right, one more. Okay, so I have a stack of lips all done. Now let me show you where they're going to go. So I got all my lips colored and ready to go. Let's finish the front of the card and then we'll assemble this. So let's go back. I want to go back to this little piece and I need to stamp it now. I'm going to go to 2 stamp sets to make this happen, okay? The first one, I'm going back to my layered stamp set and I want to use Because I Love You, okay? And I'm going to go to one from way back in the day. I'm going to go to the Envelope Please and I'm going to use Sending Kisses right here, okay? So I'm going to get that one off of there and put it onto a block. Here's how it's going to lay out. It's going to say Sending Kisses, and then Because I, and then Love You. That's going to be on the front of the card. Okay, so Sending Kisses goes on one block, Because I Love You on another. No, Because I and Love You on another. That way I can stamp it where I want to and not have to fight trying to get it to stay all lined up. So here is my VersaFine Onyx Black. I'm going to start with Sending Kisses. Ink that up right there. And then stamp it sort of top center. Sending Kisses. Oh, that's cute. And then I'm going to do Because I. It's going to go here. And then underneath, Love You. I might do it at a little angle. Something like that. Cute. So that's going on the front. Now we need one more piece that I did not show you. So our front is all ready to assemble. We'll do that in just a few minutes. There's another piece I need to show you. Okay, this is the inside of the card. So to make this a bomb of kisses, okay, you're going to need a tissue. This is just like a Kleenex. That's all this is, just a tissue. And yours may be folded differently, but this is kind of the fold you need. You want this square in the middle, okay? This piece of cardstock is going to live right here, and I'm going to use this for my sentiment, okay? And then we're going to put those lips in here and seal it shut so that when the card opens, the tissue tears and the lips come out. I'll show you that in just a second. So this piece of cardstock, let me tell you the size of it because I've already forgotten, is 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, but you may have to size yours differently depending on what size your tissue is. If your Kleenex is a little smaller, a little bigger, size it by that. Just remember, it all has to live inside your card base. So let me show you this. So here's my card base. Here's my tissue. If I can pick it up, it didn't want to come to me. Here's my tissue. So I sit this in here like this, and then this is going to go on here with my sentiment. The lips will be in here. But when I close this down, I'll wrap these guys like this, and then I'm going to wrap this like this, and this like this. And we'll do this neater when we glue it down. But you have to make sure this fits inside your card all the way around. So that's the big thing. Just make sure you're not hanging out and you have a little lip there hanging over the edge. And I do. So what I'm going to do is get this guy ready on the inside. On the inside, I'm going to stamp "You're pretty special," and you heard it from my two lips, just like this. I think I can do that all in one stamp too. Let me get a block here. Now, if you wanted to do multiple colors, you could. Let me see if I can get that on here better. There we go. I'm just going to do it all in black. Just using VersaFine. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this technique. Like I said, somebody tried to flood me with glitter because I say it all the time. I'm not a glitter fan and I don't like glitter. And so now people don't send me as much glitter as they used to, but that person really thought they were cute sending me that glitter bomb. But they've taught me something. All right, so I'm going to stamp this down in there. Pick that up. Oh, that's cute. Okay, now we can assemble our card. So let's assemble the front first. So let's do the front first. The first thing I want to do is I want to glue this guy straight down, just like this. So this is just an art glitter glue situation. So get my glue. I got ink everywhere, y'all. Oh, messy stamping day. That's all right, though. That's fun. Okay, and then I'm going to center this in here so it'll have that nice black border all the way around. Then I want to pop these elements up. This is going to be a fairly thick card anyway, so chances are you're going to have to pay extra postage if you're mailing this, so I don't mind popping them up because of that. So I'm going to get my Scotty out. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to run some Scotty on the back of it. If I can find the end, there it is. So I'm going to get a couple pieces of this. One on this side. One more piece. Put it on this side. And then this can get mounted. Oh, pokey tool. This can get mounted right to the front, just like so. All right, so that's going to go just like that. You could put it on an angle if you wanted to, but I think I'm just going to do it straight. And now this guy, I can't decide if I want to overlap it, something like that, or if I want to do it nice and straight. Let's look at that. I'm a straight girl, y'all. I like it straight. I know that's crazy, but I don't know. I'm a clean line person, and I stepped out, though, by using all these patterns. Those lips and that cheetah print together is stepping out for me, and it's probably not everyone's favorite. I'm sure some people are like, oh, I don't like that mixed together. But when you make your card, change it. Do it the way you want it. That'll be awesome. That's the fun part about crafting. All right, here we go. A little bit of foam in the middle. Won't need much. That one came off easy. And I'm going to set this. Maybe I want to center it. Maybe I want it at the top. I'm looking in the camera to decide. At the top. All right, so there is the front done. Now let's do the inside where our bomb is going to go. That sounds crazy to call it that, but that's kind of what it was. So let's talk about the Kleenex and building the piece that's going to pop open inside the card, okay? We're going to need this, but I'm going to put it aside. For your Kleenex, you need it to be single ply. This is really important. If it's double ply, when you put your adhesive on, it's going to pull the adhesive away and it won't work the same, okay? So I'm going to come right in here and I'm going to try to separate this guy. And it shouldn't be too hard. You just need to rough it up a little bit on the edge and get those plies to separate. Now, If you're using tissue paper, you don't have to do this, but I don't have any tissue paper that's not Christmas here. Believe it or not. I thought I had some red, but I didn't. So I'm just going to do this and make it 1 ply. It's starting to separate. There we go. Okay, so I technically could do 2 from this one tissue. All right, so move that aside. Now, this is where it gets kind of delicate, okay? We don't need all of this excess. We only need enough to wrap around this card and stick to the back. So I'm going to do some trimming. And what I know, this square in the middle is where my little piece will live. So I'm just going to fold this guy over onto itself, just like so. And I'm just going to roughly cut away what I don't need. It doesn't have to be pretty or anything. We're going to tuck it around. So I'm just going to get rid of some of this. I'm going to leave about 1 inch past that center square. If you're doing this with tissue paper, just know to cut your square about 1 inch bigger than whatever you're putting on the inside of your card that you want to reveal behind the tissue. I've got tape on my scissors, so a little sticky adhesive on there. All right. So there's the top cutaway. Now the bottom. There we go. Okay, so now we've trimmed this up a little bit, which is what we wanted to do. Now let's work on this guy. We'll move this out of the way. Let's add some adhesive here, all right? I'm going to use some sticky tape, and I'm just going to run it along the bottom. Forgot to get my block, had to reach over there. Okay, got my acrylic block, and then I'm going to run it across the top, which I just turned around. So I'm just going to run it in 2 places right now. Okay, you'll see why in just a second. So I'm running that across top and bottom. I'm going to go ahead. Let's don't reveal it yet. Let's do this. Let's bring our tissue back over. Now here's where we want to put whatever we want to fall out. I'm going to put my lips in. Now remember, I hadn't planned on coloring these, and so I did color them, and I used the wrong cardstock. I should have used some Not Your Mama's cardstock from Brutus so it wouldn't bleed through. But I could always color the back of these if I wanted to. But since this is kind of just a sample to show you guys, I'm not going to stress about it, because once I tear this apart, if I want to use these later, I can. But that's the deal. Make sure whatever you put in here looks like you want it to look when it falls out. Go ahead and get that in there. Kind of pay attention to where your top is. This is the top of mine, so I'm going to lay this down like this. Doesn't matter too much right now. You just want to be sure you can know which side is the top and which side is the bottom. All right, so we're going to get our backer off here. This is kind of delicate work because this tissue is super delicate, but tissue paper would be too. So just be careful here and take your time. Now we're going to bring the top down into the adhesive, and I'm doing it snug. We're making a little parcel, okay? Then I'm going to bring the bottom into the adhesive. So I've already put a little adhesive down here, and now we're going to go to the top, okay, and put some there. This will hold down the tissue across the top. Now you do have to be careful. I'm not going to press that down on that edge because I want to cut this without cutting the tissue paper with it. So be real careful. If it hangs off a little bit, it's not a big deal. Oops, I lifted it up. My stuff started to slide out. Okay, so reveal the backer just like so. Be super easy here because it will peel away. It'll do fine, but if you get too pokey, you'll poke through your tissue. So just take your time here and just release that little paper backer. Okay, now we're just going to take the bottom and flip it up into that adhesive like so, and then the top and flip it into your adhesive. It's so delicate. It'll be fun, but it's very delicate. Now these little pieces that kind of are popping up right here, we're going to tape this down to the card in a second, so that'll be fine. We're going to have to add adhesive anyway to stick that into the card. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of tuck these pieces that are hanging over. They're not a big deal. I just want to hide them so they don't hang out the side. Just kind of do like that. You could cut them away, I guess, but this will work. Then I'm going to put my adhesive over them. That will hold them down. And here, carefully, I'm going to tear it. Good deal. All right, I'm going to do this side. I really think if you do this with tissue paper, you'll get a better result because you won't have to fight it because this is so delicate. Now, you definitely want to put some in the middle, and the reason is
you want that cardstock that's exposed to be stuck down to the package, because that's what's going to hold it to the card when it's torn away. If you don't have that, this tissue can tear away as well. All right, now you can see which way it goes. You can see your little lips in there. Aren't they super cute like that? Okay, we need to put adhesive on the top as well. So this time I want to run my adhesive around because I want this to rip completely away when it opens. Okay, so carefully add your adhesive, and I'm doing it all the way around, right to the edge, because this, like I said, this is going to be what tears it away when the card opens. It's a little tedious. This is one of those make a fuss cards. This is not one that I do for everybody, but if you had that one special, maybe grandchild that you wanted to do something cute for, maybe a brother or sister that you think, you know, y'all have a funny little relationship, you think this would be cute, I think it's cute. Don't worry about the middle too much because this is going to rip that away for you anyway. Okay, let's put it into the card. So we bring our card over, lay this down like this. Pay attention to your sentiment. We want it to go in that direction. And I'm going to do this side first. So I'm going to put it on the inside right-hand side first. No reason, just because. Reach back here and peel these backers off. So carefully. Ooh, see, I kind of got the tissue, so I want to take my time and avoid the tissue. Just get the backer. Here we go. Let me turn that around and get my hand on it without sticking in it. Okay. Now, let's see which way this needs to go. Make sure if any of your adhesive is sticking out, you kind of tuck it back there. I got a little bit on that edge, a little bit here. Okay, now stick this into place. Just like so. We're almost there, we're almost there. All right, now what we want to do is reveal these sticky parts that we have here. And really carefully, guys, don't rip it. If it rips a little bit, it won't matter because the adhesive will hold it into place some. But if you rip it too much, if you go a little crazy, if you've done too much work to kind of rush this, take your time. Okay. And you have to whisper. You have to whisper when you're doing this delicate work. Here we go. One more. We're getting there, we're getting there. Ooh, I have to be careful right here. I can tell that that's wanting to lift. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So now what we do is we close this guy on top of the adhesive and seal it in. Now for the fun part. Let's get ready for the big reveal. I only get one shot at this. All right, here we go. When you give the card, it's so cute, and you give it to somebody, they're like, oh, and you say, open it. And so they reach their hand over here and they go, oh, cute. And this one stuck a little bit. It's actually static, but look. And then it says, you're pretty special, and whatever you put in pops out. And I think it's super cute. And I would color both sides of these lips if I was doing it because I didn't pay attention to that. But you get the idea, right? They open it, it reveals, and it's so cute, but it's delicate. It's delicate. Now listen. Promise me you won't put glitter in this. Promise me you will not send a glitter bomb to somebody. It's the worst. Don't do that. But it is a cute idea to reveal other things. Imagine this. What if you put in candy sprinkles? Or maybe you put in money. Maybe it was a cool way to like reveal and give somebody money. You tell me in the comments below what you would put inside your little parcel that peels away and reveals. I think it is so cute. And then they still have their little card, sending kisses because I love you. You're pretty special. You heard it from my two lips. And then all the lips fall out. So super cute. I hope you guys like this idea. I'm glad it worked. It's a little delicate. Take your time. You'll get it done. If you make one and don't put glitter in it, I want to see it. So head to my channel, MaymayMadeIt.com, and in our customer gallery, you can share your photos that you're creating so we can see your inspiration that you make with this card or this style of card. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.